Today I'm making a very traditional dish for Bulgaria and Eastern Europe in general that's called Kjopolu. It's made mainly from aubergine and some peppers. And depending on the region of the world, you may have different peppers. Bell peppers we do fine as well. And first we have to bake them. As you can see, they're not so fresh. This is a bit 1 week old because I've been trying to make this video for some time and didn't have the time, and now I'm going to cook it, but it's gonna work fine, I think. So let's start. Preheat the oven to about 200 degrees, 220 degrees, and just put them inside, and in about 20 minutes, maybe 25 minutes, we're going to rotate them a little bit just to make sure they're evenly baked. But the first thing is this: just wash the vegetables, place them on a tray, and then off to the oven. Okay, it has been about half an hour. So as you can see, nicely burnt. I'm going to just rotate them a little bit. If that if you are sensitive to heat, then just use a glove or something. I am okay, so I'm doing this. But basically we need them evenly cooked on both sides. Be careful with the aubergines, they're quite hot. Now I'm going to put them back in the oven, and they're going to spend another maybe half an hour there, and then we'll continue. Okay, we are basically done. It has been about 20 more minutes, and I think they're pretty cooked right now. The only thing remaining is I'll put them back in the turned-off oven for maybe 10-15 minutes, just to make the vapor, the water vapor will make the skin peel easier. So I'll see you in about 10-15 minutes. Okay, I've taken everything out of the oven now, and it stayed out for maybe 15 minutes just to cool a little bit, and now see how it is to peel the skin. Sometimes it's actually not that easy, and you may use a knife just to cut a little bit the skin, but generally speaking, ideally it should come off just as I'm showing you. And then I'm gonna show, taking the skin off all of these things, just one or two just for you to see. Now, if everything was cooked properly, I can just remove the seeds like that, and this is ready for the use. Now, depending on the type of pepper you're using, this may take different effort, and varieties have also different ways of the way you can take out the seeds, but in this case it's relatively easy, and I don't want the seeds to be inside of what I'm cooking, so I'll just remove them. And later on I'll actually going to inspect a little bit the result, so I will just use my hand to rub off all remaining seeds. With regard to the aubergine, it's a similar process. It's a bit hot still, even though it has been out for maybe 15 minutes. But the process is relatively similar. I just have to peel it off like this. Be careful, because the aubergine is way hotter than the peppers. It's much thicker, and inside this is quite hot. Even after 15-20 minutes, it's still very hot. So I'll be just careful in removing the skin. And after I'm done with the skin, I'll just place it in the bowl. And when everything is ready, I'll just show you what the end result looks like, and then we'll finish the meal. Okay, almost done. Just a little bit left on the top. Again, be careful. As you can see, super hot, right? Everything is peeled, and the seeds mostly removed. A few left, but that's fine. As you can see, there is some kind of liquid that is draining out of this, because the aubergine and also the peppers would release some liquid. It's okay, but I'm going to just throw most of it in the sink, and then the rest, which stays inside, will actually be part of the dish. So I'm just going to drain a little bit of this and continue in a second. Okay, we're done. So what are the next steps? Well, I'm going to just take all of these things and cut them, and some people use different techniques. Personally, I've seen people who use blenders and stuff. I like my dish to be a little bit rougher cut, but again, it's a matter of preference. In this case, the peppers are very, very well cooked, so cutting them is really, really easy. The aubergine is the same. Now it's completely cooled, and because it's very, very well cooked, it's kind of quite easy to cut. But again, if you want finer texture, you are very welcome to use a blender of any sort, and just do that, and that should be okay. I'm just going to put the rest of it here, and after this is done, our main work on this dish will be finished. Okay, now what remains is for us to put back the content in the bowl, and I'll show you how it looks after I've done that. And then what remains is for me to put something on top, and let's see what we're going to put on top. Now here is our dish. I personally like to put just a few things on top. One is I would like to put lemon, because lemon to me is great for this dish. I'll put a lot of it. In this case, I'll just squeeze it, and my hand is here just to protect from lemon seeds going inside the dish. And by the way, it's actually not by the way, it's important to note, as I'm sure you realize, all of the things that I'm using for making this dish are GoFor.Love. Of course, aubergine and peppers are like fruits basically, so no plant was hurt while they were harvested and used. The same goes for, obviously, for lemons. And then we're going to use a little bit of salt and oil, and they are both in the same category. So this is completely 100% GoFor.Love dish. Now after I've done that, I would like to put a little bit of salt, actually a lot of salt, because this thing can take a lot of salt basically. This is red Himalayan salt, so obviously if you're using something like sea salt or something, put way less than this. This salt is not that salty, just to be clear. And then let's put a little bit of oil. So this is just plain standard sunflower oil. You may want to try using other oils as well. For example, what goes well with this also is you can do it also with extra virgin olive oil, but I like it like this. So let's see what happens. Let's mix it. Now you may put other things inside as well. A lot of people put fresh parsley, and parsley, I have mixed feelings about parsley, simply because when you're cutting the parsley, you're not actually destroying the whole plant, because the roots stay inside of the ground and then it grows again. It's not like, I don't know, like cabbage or something. It grows back, but I still am not completely convinced that it's okay. So if you so much love parsley, I think maybe you'll give it a, if these are all greens, and then maybe meat and other things like that kill plants and animals would be red. Parsley would be maybe yellow, and so generally not advised, but in some ways, you know, on a sparse use you may try to use it. Also, of course, you may use it freely, of course, if you have like medical condition or something that requires you to eat this kind of food. I should be clear about this. So the idea here is not to hurt your health, just to try and be more good towards the environment. And another thing that people put inside very often is they put maybe some nuts. It could be a walnut or something. Then fresh walnuts go well with this as well. But basically that's it. We're done. Thanks for watching and enjoy.